can see.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Eat Speak podcast, the most delicious podcast in the Metroplex and points west. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
This is a great day on the Eat Speak podcast. We've got some Texas steakhouse restaurateurs, some of the most famous Texas restaurant owners. Folks, you have to drive a little ways to get to, but it's worth it when you get there. Welcome, Lisa and Tom Perini of Perini Ranch, south of Abilene.
Well, thank you. We're glad to be here.
Now, I know that y'all have a lot going on. You have a book and a podcast, and I don't know, you may have a Star Wars sequel or something coming up out there at Perini Ranch. You have all kinds of things. Things going on. But first of all, I want you to tell in your own words, for all the people watching this who haven't made the 2-hour drive west to Buffalo Gap, tell them what Perini Ranch is all about, and then tell them about your new place, the Gap Cafe.
Lisa?
Well, Perini Ranch Steakhouse is just a great destination restaurant. We are just 2 hours west of Fort Worth. We like to consider ourselves a suburb of Fort Worth. We're so fortunate to have great friends.
Just the other side of Aledo.
There you go.
That's right.
That's right. And coming our way quickly. And we have great friends in the Fort Worth restaurant community, and we love being a part of everything that happens in Fort Worth. But we are 20 minutes south of Abilene, in a little town called Buffalo Gap. The steakhouse is on a working ranch. It takes a little bit of effort, and now with Google, it's gotten a lot easier to find us. But we are here and love having visitors from all over Texas, the United States, and even internationally visit Buffalo Gap and Perini Ranch Steakhouse, so we can serve them a great piece of beef, along with a good bottle of wine and some fun sides.
Well, the great piece of beef is what people know, and even if you haven't gone to Buffalo Gap, you may have had Perini tenderloin at somebody's party somewhere. It's been shipped in. It's one of the most famous catalog gifts and holiday gifts is to order tenderloin from Perini Ranch. You are more than a steakhouse, so go ahead and tell people a little bit about what's on your menu and what hours you're open at the steakhouse.
Go ahead.
So the steakhouse is, of course, beef is always the center of our plate, whether it's catering or at the steakhouse. We do have great fried catfish. We have some fabulous pork ribs and wonderful sides. We're closed on Mondays. We're open for dinner Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and lunch and dinner Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We really do recommend reservations. It's a long drive out here, so we want to make sure that we have your table ready. And we're looking forward to seeing you when you come. So please call ahead. You can jump online on our website and make a reservation.
And then I was delighted to find, on a completely different trip out west for another purpose, coming back looking for a place to have breakfast, I was delighted to find the Gap Cafe. And I know that that's kind of just a little spinoff, but tell people about breakfast at the Gap Cafe.
So, Bud, when Buffalo Gap has not had a cafe in several years. And so we thought that this was very important. A little town needs a cafe. And so we had several old buildings that we refurbished. And so it is truly a cafe, but we really try to make it good food. I mean, you can get chicken fried steak and all the traditional Texas, breakfast and stuff, and people have enjoyed it. So it has worked, but especially, we have a steakhouse operation, and then we have guest quarters on the ranch. So by having the cafe, it helps when we have guest quarters because people can go and eat there and go into Buffalo Gap, and then we have a little store. So it all kinds of, it works in what we're trying to do. So, but the cafe has been very successful, and we've been very pleased.
So you can just kind of move in for a few days. You can have breakfast in the cafe and have lunch in either the cafe or the restaurant, the steakhouse, then have dinner in the steakhouse. You'll never leave the wide world of Buffalo Gap.
That's right. You can overnight at our guest house and shop at the Perini Ranch Country Market, and you'll go home without any money and a great experience.
Steve, I think that about people may not be listening anymore. They may be in their cars heading west right now. But
Right. I didn't realize that y'all had like a guest house that you could stay at.
There are two houses. They're here on the ranch, and it's called Perini Ranch Guest Quarters. There's that too is on our website, but you have to call us to book. It's a really great experience. We wanted it to feel like an extension of the steakhouse, and that you're in our guest room. So it's really relaxing and fun and nice, and a great way to spend the evening.
And Bud, these guest quarters are out on the ranch. One is an 1885 farmhouse that we've completely redone, which is magnificent.
That outdoor plumbing's kind of weird.
Oh, well, it's not quite that outdoor.
I'm teasing.
No, but and then we have another.
Is it just around back, or is it out in the field?
Yeah.
No, it really is out. It's really out in the field. And
Okay.
so,
Not the plumbing.
oh, no. All right, I'm a little slow. No, but the guest quarters are out on the ranch, and so you can go out and actually we have TVs in these houses, but people don't watch it because they go and they get in a hammock and they read a book and they look at the deer and the turkey, and we've had porcupines move in, and and so people really can kind of get away from the norm of traffic in big cities.
Really, the one thing that everybody really enjoys are the dark skies. We've really found that that's such an asset in our part of Texas, and the stars are just absolutely magnificent.
The stars are bright.
Don't sing like this. And
We're gonna have to pay them extra now.
Yeah, or you're going to lose a lot of viewers really quickly if that keeps up. So.
Well, speaking
Steve,
of books,
yeah, go ahead.
They said reading a book. You have a new book that just came out, right?
We do. There it is. We actually published a celebrating 40 years, and it's really a photo album, yearbook, kind of Tom's diary of everything that's happened over the last, not everything, stories that we told from the 40 years. And it was a fun project to put together, and it could have been multiple issues. There were so many photographs, and so sadly we couldn't include everything, but boy, it really is a fun story of so many of the experiences that we've had, mostly related to beef.
And looking back in the early days, we really got our start in the food business on a chuck wagon. And so we were ranching up around Stanford, and we had a chuck wagon, and at those early days, the big ranches had retired their wagons. And so they'd call us in the Sixes and Pitchfork and Swinson's and Matthews, all these big operations would call and say, hey, we want you to come up and bring the wagon and cowboys and cook. And so that's kind of how we got started. That was our.
Did you see how young and cute you were?
Oh my God. Who is that young man? So, but this.
Look, right there.
He's doesn't have the belly. So
Tom, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that's how we really got our start. And so in 83 is when we opened the steakhouse. And we started with the same type of cooking in those early days.
Well, Tom, what does it mean? I mean, people say, Tom Perini, he's a pioneer of Texas cowboy cooking. But, to explain to people, what is Texas cowboy cooking, and, what makes it different? What makes your steaks different?
Well, in our case, first of all, we use great beef. Anytime, in the restaurant business, quality and consistency are very important. So we buy good beef. We buy certified Angus. We're very pleased with it. But we still cook on fire. We have live fire and with mesquite. And so good beef and good seasoning. And when you have live fire, the flames will kind of kiss or whatever the meat. And it gives that flavor that you don't get if it's cooked in a fancy oven. So this is what I think has been our success. We are authentic, we quality and consistency. And when you drive to the steakhouse and you park your car when you open your door, you can smell the steaks, the way the wind carries the smoke. And so all of that, and and we laugh, we're a nice joint, but we're a real Texas authentic joint. And that's what's, I think, has been part of our success.
Well, Lisa, if somebody is interested in coming, but maybe not that interested in steak or cowboy life, but they want to come see, what have you got out there that's not steak that you can talk to city folks about
On the menu?
on the whole experience?
Sure. So on the menu, of course, we have fried catfish that gets rave reviews on every Friday night in the summer. We have an outdoor fish fry. We have some great shopping at the Perini Ranch Country Market that is about upscale entertaining and hospitality, because that's what we believe in. And so you can spend some time doing that. And there's just a lot of things to do that aren't beef related if you just want to come out and relax and experience a little bit of rural Texas.
Bud, one of the things that we have done, so when we first started in '83, a lot of the sides were sides that we still have today. I mean, we have a green chili hominy, we have green beans with a little bacon drippings and cowboy potatoes that had a little Italian part of it, but zucchini perini, and we still have those as our sides. We don't do a baked potato, we don't do French fries, and we tried to really be something different. And so the way we cook and with these different sides, we will do specials and have all these, different vegetables as specials, but we've stayed very true to what we've started 40 years ago.
Steve, do we have some of those food pictures? Have you already showed some of those?
Yeah,
No.
well,
The only thing I got was the steak picture here.
yes.
Oh, okay. Some good old steak.
These are
Okay.
tenderloins, right?
Those are briskets.
Those are briskets. And so, like cooking those briskets, we do it the old time way. We do it with mesquite coals. I laugh about it. It takes 12 to 14 hours and 2 6-packs of beer. And that's how you get them done.
So that's an open fire brisket. That's a West Texas way.
Yes.
And I wish I had a picture of the biscuits from the Gap Cafe too. That'd be a good picture to bring.
They are good. They are good.
We'll send you some pictures. Maybe it'll tease you into coming back out.
But
now you've got some
come
kind
out
of you've got some kind of a show or a podcast, or you've got some singing and dancing show or something. What have you got now?
Well, as we talked about, no singing for us, but we do have a podcast of Meet Me at the Wagon. It was in partnership with Texas Monthly Studios. And with that, we are telling some of the stories of the ranch and how we met and all the things that we've done together, and the history of Buffalo Gap, the history of ranching, again, the importance of cattle and beef to what we do, and the importance of the restaurant industry to the cattle industry. So it goes into a lot of those things, and there's 4 episodes that are out now and more to come.
Tom, what do you think now about the Texas restaurant scene in general? It used to be that, West Texas had steakhouses it was known for. People would make a circuit through towns and eat in small town steakhouses. Maybe not as much of that happens anymore, but we've got Felipe Armetta came up from San Angelo and brought us all his good restaurants here in Fort Worth. Is there enough going on for people to come dine around West Texas?
We have people, our drawing it's interesting. We draw from 150 miles of Buffalo Gap. So we have people that come in from Lubbock and Midland and Fort Worth and San Angelo that will drive and pass a lot of restaurants coming to the steakhouse. And so we really think it's the experience and the good food and the fun and remembering, these people have been coming for all these years. And so it has worked. We even have beyond the 150 miles, we have people outside of Texas. And another thing we have, I forgot, last month, I think they had 17 different countries that came just in 1 month. So it really is a drawing. This is authentic. And so being out in the country, it's being on a ranch. I think people really enjoy it, but it's Bud, when we started this, honestly, I didn't know what I was doing, but we've just tried, and over the years, it's just grown, and it's grown by word of mouth. And that is the best kind of advertising you can get. So we're very flattered.
And you do have both indoor and outdoor dining. People don't have to think, well, it's
Yeah.
raining. I probably shouldn't go.
Yeah.
You have several indoor dining rooms and then a big patio outside too.
That's
Are
exactly
any of the
And
Go
so,
ahead.
for example, so we have the outside dining, we have an outside kind of dance floor, but we have families that will bring children out, and the children kind of go play on the dance floor and dance and go up on the stage, and mom and dad are having a margarita, and the kids are having a wonderful time. So it truly is a family type deal. And, I grew up in the days when mom and dad and granddad would go out with the young kids, and the kids would be standing on granddad's feet and they would dance. And you don't see that very often, but this is the same thing that we have. We have the yellow light bulbs, and it's a family deal. And so we're very proud of that.
I saw where the folks who bought the name and used the old name of the Trail Dust Steakhouse, I saw they're about to open another one in Lindsay. I think they have one in Denton County. If you've been to one of the chain steakhouses where people tried to copy and make it look Texasy, one of our most famous so-called Texas roadhouses is not even owned in Texas. It's out of Kentucky. But if you've been to a chain Texas steakhouse, and a lot of them are copying what you do there at Perini and what you do with a ranch. The place that people can come. Oh, are there reservations for Mother's Day, Father's Day? Are there days that are booked?
You answer that.
Yeah, there are. Mother's Day is getting really full, but Father's Day, of course, there's plenty of room, and every weekend is a great time to come out. The weather's been super this spring. The wildflowers are fabulous. And, I think there is such a draw to rural Texas since 2020. It's just that popularity has continued. And, you talked about the Armentas in San Angelo. It's our favorite place to run off and go have Mexican food. It's a wonderful spot. And there are lots of small town places left. And Tom and I go to great effort to dine with mom and pops and to look for chef-owned or independent restaurants and experience those places, because if you don't try those, you're really missing out on something.
And so one of the things that we did when we got married is we had to have a real heart-to-heart talk, and we decided in those early days, a lot of people wanted us to have chain, to form franchise, and we decided not to. We said no. We want one restaurant, and to make it as good as it can be for what it is. And that's exactly what's happened.
You wanted to make everybody come to you. And anyway, and you had plenty of chuck wagon business rolling around anyway, too. So there you can find Perini and you can have a lot shipped to you. You can order Perini and have it shipped to you if you can't get out to Buffalo Gap.
You're right.
That's right.
Steve, did you see anything else that I don't take it you've been to Abilene probably?
No, I've had the tenderloin and I've actually, I think, Tom had set up a chuck wagon at a couple of events I've been to too. So you make a lot of trips to Fort Worth, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But it's Fort Worth is really Texas, and that's kind of the way we feel about Abilene. This is the Texas that you expect. And so we have some big cities in Texas, but there are not many real Texas cities. And so we're very proud to be in that bunch.
Well, I do like the idea that you have like a bed and breakfast or something sort of like that. So those little houses. I think that would make a nice little like weekend trip or something.
It is. It is. So y'all need to come out and see us.
Yeah,
Steve,
I think so.
You need to have the green chili hominy too. That's the other thing that people need to have, because no place here has green chili hominy. We've got cowboy steakhouses, but that green chili hominy is pretty unique too.
That's a real story on the podcast. So there's a big story about the green chili hominy. So be sure and check that out.
And you have lunch for people who want to get up in the morning and drive out. You have lunch on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Is that right?
Correct. And then on Sunday, we have grandmother's table with old-fashioned fried chicken, chicken fried steak, homemade biscuits and gravy, green beans, black-eyed peas. It's amazing.
It's great.
And what hours are that? Is that it started
From 11 to 2 every Sunday.
Is that about $30, $40? How much is that?
I don't know. It's less than $30.
Less than $30. And then the cafe is open what hours and what day?
Cafe is open every day except Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So don't come on Tuesday.
Don't come on Tuesday.
Unless you're going to the steakhouse.
So don't come to the steakhouse on Monday, and don't come to the cafe on Tuesday.
Right.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're golden. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're in the clear. Well, you know that the way most people here, I think, will get up in the morning and come out to Perini, and they'll pick up friends or family and drive out for lunch and then drive back, and it's a good way to spend the day. You know,
For
Lisa,
sure.
Tom, is there something? I know you all came with so much on your mind and so much to tell us about. Is there something that you want to tell us? Is there a specific podcast episode to watch for with some Fort Worth guests or something? Is there, tell us about what else you bring us.
I'm about the book and that.
So the podcast, the green chili hominy is in episode 4, I believe, and it's really a funny story. And there's some Dallas chefs involved in that, and there's a little stealing of the recipe, so to speak. So there were some confessionals going on, but that was fun. And then the book is out, the steakhouse is open, and like I said, it's a beautiful spring, and we just love to have everybody come out and see us and raise a glass to 40 years and come see Buffalo Gap.
Well, I hope that I'll see an ad that says just to the other side of Walsh Ranch. Come on out. It'll. It's just a little short drive. People out in Walsh Ranch, they can. I don't think they can Uber all the way out there, but they could probably get a ride and get out there pretty.
Maybe that's our next business is a shuttle service to Fort Worth.
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that.
That'd be great.
Well, if you run a shuttle, people are going to want you to bring food from Central Market and then take them to Perini Ranch, and you can kind of trade off.
Listen, it could happen.
There's a lot of good traffic that goes up and down the interstate. You know, with West Texans coming to Central Market and DFW people going to Perini Ranch. So
listen, we're part of that traffic often, believe me.
So, but I want to tell you one story real quick. Years ago, it was in the steakhouse, and 4 men came in suits, which kind of gets your attention. And so I kind of looked around. I thought they were insurance people. They were looking up at the ceiling and around. I thought, oh, brother. And so I went in and I sat by them, and it turns out they were some new people that were the front runners for a new steakhouse chain in Texas. And so we talked, and one of the gentlemen turned to me and he said, Tom, what do you do to make this so Texas? And I said, I don't, it is. And he did not understand what I was saying.
Yeah, you're not running a theme park out there.
No,
exactly.
No.
Yeah, there's nothing at Perini Ranch, as far as I know, that came out of a design studio or was created by an agency. I think everything is pretty much the way it is out there. So, but it's 2 hours west of Fort Worth, 20 minutes south of Abilene, and I'm being generous with the 2 hours. You have to step on the gas pretty good to get there in 2 hours, but
that's true.
Let's say 2 hours west of the west side of Fort Worth.
There you
That's
go.
right.
There you go.
So you could run out for lunch, be back by middle of the afternoon, or stick around and stay over and have breakfast at the Gap Cafe, whatever you want to do. Lisa and Tom Perini from Perini Ranch, wonderful guests on the Eat Speak podcast. And we'll be watching. What's the name of your podcast?
Meet Me at the Wagon.
Meet Me at the Wagon. We'll be watching episodes of Meet Me at the Wagon. And thank you. Until next time on the Eat Speak podcast, I'm Bud Kennedy.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks.
Thank you.